Our mission to find the best chips in the world continues today.
We're so excited for today's review. We cannot wait to try these chips. The uniqueness behind this brand is the dedication to creating a truly special chip.
Today we review Jackson's Chips. Before we get started, we want you to know that Jackson's did not pay us to do this review. However, they did send us these 5 different flavors to try and review today. With that being said, stay tuned to the end of the episode to receive a special offer from Jackson's and the Chip Guys.
And for a chance to win some Jackson swag. Before we dip in, let's talk briefly about the story of Jackson's Chips.
Megan and Scott Reamer's son, Jackson, was born with a rare autoimmune disorder that required a restrictive and low inflammation diet. With that being said, they had to change their lifestyle to help their son. But they did, however, miss snacks greatly. And that's where Jackson's Chips came to be.
Jackson uses heirloom non-GMO sweet potatoes and features premium avocado oil, and their seasonings are free of the top 9 allergens.
For those of you who haven't seen our past videos, we just want to recap real quick how we rate each chip. So firstly, we have flavorability, followed by crunchability, and then lastly, dipability. So for those of you who have not seen our past episodes, we normally always use Lawson's chip dip. However, when Kevin went to the store today, they didn't have Lawson's, so we were at a loss for words. So in exchange for Lawson's today, we are going to be using
Hell of a good dip.
I've personally never had it, but I know Kevin has.
Yeah, I had it. I like it.
I'm always using Lawson's, so I'm gonna be very interested to see how this dip is too with the chips. So we'll try it out.
All right, Brandon. So here we are, Jackson's
Sea salt.
Sweet potato chips, sea salt. We're gonna start off with these.
Yep.
I will give you the honors of opening the bags this episode.
All right. I feel honored. All right. Let's see what we got here.
Ooh. Get in there. All right.
It's a little bit tough to open. So for bagability for that, I mean, you know, normally we talk about how easy the bag of chips is to open. So, you know, between easy, average, hard, I would say that was a little bit between average and harder to open for sure. Definitely got that little bit of a tear in it, but
man, as soon as you open that bag.
As soon as you smell it though, yeah, you can smell the sweet potato.
Yeah,
so
as soon as you
take
open
a good
that
old
bag.
whiff of that.
He opened that bag and I could smell it from this far away. That smells like a sweet potato. I like it.
Yeah, you smell the sweet potato, you smell, you know, everything. The little bit of sea salt, so it just hits you right in the face, which is awesome. All right, so pretty decent size.
Yeah. All right. So let's do this. Just sea salt. Brandon, you ready to try this?
Let's do it.
Let's go. Salty. Not overwhelming, but a good salt.
Yeah, I taste a little bit of the sea salt, but I definitely taste a lot more sweet potato than anything. So, and it's actually really good. I do like sweet potatoes. So
yeah, I do too. All right, I'm gonna give this a dip here. Oh yeah, no problem there.
So I would say just from looking at that, that definitely holds up to the dip. Should have got a little bit bigger chip.
I'm curious what you think of this combination. Yeah, that's how I felt.
Yeah. So the dip, you know, I definitely still like Lawson's a little bit more, but I think this is actually a really good dip, and it pairs really well with that sweet potato, I think too. And I'm getting a little bit bigger of a chip this time because I think the last one was a little small. But
wow. All right.
Oh yeah.
So we've each had a couple of chips. Sea salt. Here, let's put this up here so people see what we're reviewing here.
Yep.
Sea salt. So Brandon, we'll just kind of start from the top here, flavor-wise.
Yeah.
You know, on a scale, 1 to 10 scale.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Yeah, for the flavor, you know, I would honestly say that's probably a little over average for me. I mean, I really do like the sweet potato, so I would probably rate that a 7, honestly. I think that's pretty good. And, you know, normally in our past videos, too, I always kind of talk about, can the chip be eaten as a standalone? Is it good with the dip? Right. I think with the sweet potato, it's good enough to where you can eat it alone, but it also pairs very well with the dip, too. So you can't go wrong either way.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you on the 7. I like it. It's a really good flavor. I really like the sweet potato on this. I think it is fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really do like it, and it's just got a nice hint of salt. Not too much salt, but a really nice amount of salt on that. So I'm gonna say a 7 for me as well too.
Okay.
All right, and then my favorite category here is the crunchability. So this does have a really, for as thin as it is, because it's actually a really thin chip, and they're kind of curled up a little bit.
Yep.
But it does have a really good crunch.
Absolutely.
For me, I would say, thinking about this, I would say this is probably a 7 on the crunch for me.
Okay.
I do really like it a lot though. I think this is a 7.
Yeah, and I like you said, just for the size of them too, like they're not a real big chip, but I think just the way they're kind of curled up, you do get that little bit of crunch with
Absolutely.
it. I'm gonna kind of be around where you're at. I would probably rate that a 6.
Okay.
Like I said, a little bit over average, but I do think it has a nice little crunch to it. So yeah.
All right, and then the dip ability, Brandon, your favorite category.
My favorite category. The question we're all wondering: does this hold up to the dip? I would say absolutely, for sure. You just get a nice solid dip. Holds up really well. Tastes great.
Problem.
So, yeah, for dip ability for that, I'm definitely going to rate that a little bit higher.
Yeah.
I would say that's at least a 9.
Wow. Okay. I'm really close to you right there. I'm going to say right here for the sea salt one, this is an 8. It's a really good chip. With the dip, again, the only concern is it's a little smaller, but they're all kind of a little curled up, so it kind of gives it some more scooping ability, I guess, maybe, but I really like it a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Brandon, so that's sea salt. Let's move on to the next.
All right, Kevin, so what do we have for the next flavor?
The next one from Jackson's is Farmhouse Ranch.
Ooh.
So here you go, Brandon, again.
All right, let's give it another open. We'll see how it is.
This is the one I saw I'm pretty excited about here.
Okay, so that one was definitely a lot easier, I think, in terms of opening.
Yep.
So for bagability for that, definitely on the easier side of things for sure. Ooh, so and that definitely has a great smell to it. So I still get that scent of sweet potato, but you can
100%.
Really smell that ranch in there, which is kind of cool.
100%.
I like that. So
agreed.
Let's pour it in. See what we got.
See what we got here. All right.
And actually, I would even argue that I think these chips are actually a little bit bigger in size than the sea salt one. They look a little bit bigger.
Just could have been the bag for sure. But.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon. So Farmhouse Ranch. Let's give this a whirl here.
All right.
Oh, I like the little. You guys might not be able to see it, but
now this is a good sized chip. Look at that.
Good seasoning on there.
Oh yeah.
Let's give it a whirl. Ready?
All right.
I like that.
Whoa.
I really like that a lot.
That's good. That ranch really just hits you in the face.
Oh yeah.
I think Jackson's captured that taste very well.
Jackson's,
so,
good job. This is great.
I like that. So initially, what's odd is, what I thought was ironic was, so when you open up the bag, you really just smell a little bit more of the ranch. You smell more of the sweet potato.
For sure.
But then when you taste it, you really don't taste the sweet potato as much. You get the ranch. So I think that's really good. I like that.
I'm gonna dip this here just for it, but that's.
Yeah, let's see how it holds up. I'm trying to find a decent size chip.
Yeah, this is easy.
Easy dip again. Money.
I like this with dip, but you do not need dip. In my opinion, you don't need dip with this. This has got great flavor.
Yeah, I disagree a little with that. I mean, it tastes okay with the dip, but I personally think this chip is way better as a standalone chip. Because I think that's really what allows you to really get that flavor of the ranch, right? Because I think when you put it in the dip, you can't really taste it.
Yeah, that's what I said. You don't need to dip this.
Yeah, you don't need it, but again, better as a standalone. So that's
sure.
just my opinion on it.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna have another one here, folks. I do really like this flavor. Man, that's probably one of the better flavored chips that we've tasted so far. I mean, just
especially
flavor.
for ranch. Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, so Brandon, we've dipped it.
Oh yeah.
Made it. Let's start at the top here. So flavorability, what do you think?
I think I feel like we're probably going to be around the same score, but honestly, for me, for flavor, I think that's honestly a solid 8. I think that was really good.
Wow, for me, this
might go a little bit higher.
Yeah, I'm going to go a little bit higher. For me, flavor-wise, this is a 9. This is fantastic. This is a great flavorful chip.
Okay.
Really like it. Crunchability, I'm going to go back with this. I think, what do we do? A 7 last time, I think, on the last one. I think it's right there. It's pretty consistent with the crunch. I'm going to say this is a 7 for me.
I would agree. Yeah. I think for most of these, unless the texture changes, I think for me, the crunch is going to kind of be pretty consistent across the board. So I'm going to rate that a 7 as well. Yeah. So.
And then dipability, Brandon?
Dipability, yeah, I would say that holds up still to it. So I would probably rate that a 9 as well.
Okay.
So I think that holds up really well.
And I'm going to say an 8 for me just because it is a little thinner, but I mean, it does hold up, no problem. It is just a little bit thinner, a little concerning for me. But again, you don't need to dip this chip at all. This has such a great flavor to it. This is a great standalone chip. So very great job, Jacksons. We really like this one. All right, Brandon, we got another one here coming up.
So I'm excited to try these other ones because that ranch was
this was on point.
All right, so let's move on to the next flavor. All right, Kevin. So I'm definitely really excited for this flavor.
Yes, you are. I know. This is right up Brandon's alley here. Carolina barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
Brandon, here you go, bud.
All right, let's see. Bag number 3. All right, trying to get a nice little grip on it.
Yeah. Oh, a little resistance on that one.
It's it's definitely a little bit harder to open. All right, hold on. Let me see. Give me a second, folks. You may be here until the next episode.
3 weeks later.
Some scissors here, folks.
We might need scissors, yeah.
Wow, Brandon. This is a struggle here.
Many months later.
Oh, we got it?
Nope.
Give me this bag. Give me this. What is wrong with you? Oh, that is hard. What's up with this bag? What is going on here? Oh, there we go. Hey-oh.
Oh my goodness.
That was a hard one.
That was a hard one.
Tell me what you smell.
How many guys does it take to open a bag of chips? Apparently 2.
2 chip guys.
Yeah,
apparently.
exactly. Oh yeah, I definitely smell that barbecue. I mean, it is a barbecue chip, right?
It is barbecue.
Go ahead and give that a whiff. I just cannot believe it. That is definitely
that was hard.
Really
that was hard.
Bag to open.
All right, so Jackson's
same
Carolina
size.
barbecue. Yeah, same consistency on the size on those. All right, Brandon, go ahead and grab one, and I'll find one here.
Let's give it a whirl.
All right.
Okay. You taste a little bit of the barbecue, but it's not one of those like bold barbecue flavors that really like hit you in the face. You know, you taste it a little bit.
Little after taste. Like right now, I'm getting a lot more barbecue flavor now that it's sat on my tongue for a little bit. So
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I'm just thinking about that ranch one. That ranch one just popped you right in
I know
the face.
you really like that one.
I did. I really did. So
I can already say, I think this is probably going to be better in the dip, just from kind of how it tastes. I think it's going to be one of those where if you eat it, probably going to taste, you know, even better with the dip. I as a standalone, you know, not really my thing, but.
But you're a barbecue guy, so.
I am a barbecue guy. Holds up to the dip.
That is good. Dip. That is good in the dip, though.
Yeah, it is really good. So, again, you know, if you end up getting the barbecue one, try it for yourself. See if you like it as a standalone. But me personally, I think it's going to taste a lot better in the dip.
So the initial, I'll just start with the flavor since we've had a couple here.
Yeah.
The initial flavor is not super strong, but I just noticed, and I said this a minute ago, but once it sits on your tongue, that's when I'm like really starting to taste the barbecue flavor. Like now that I've sat here, it's really, I can really taste that barbecue, and it's got a little heat to it, just like a touch heat, not too much.
Yep.
Not where you're gonna be sweating or anything like that. Not from opening bags sweating, but but just a little bit of heat. I really like the taste after that more than I do like when I first had that first bite.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'll start with flavor for me. For me, I would say this is a little bit above average. I'm gonna say this is a 6 on the flavor. Again, I do like the aftertaste a little bit more than I like the first bite taste.
Okay, that's a good analogy. And for me, I think for flavor, I'm probably going to kind of rate that in the middle. I would say it wasn't the worst barbecue I had, but it wasn't the greatest either. Yeah. I would say that's probably a solid 5 for me, just kind of right in the middle. Yeah. But again, you know, I think it tastes really good with the dip. So.
All right, and then so crunch. I'm going to say consistent with this. The crunch has been great on these. I mean, I keeping in mind that they're a lot thinner chip, and they do have a really good crunch for being so thin.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this is a 7 for me as well. I'm pretty consistent on all these.
Yeah, I mean, I know for the last 2, I've been between a 6 and a 7, so I think I'm going to kind of go with the same thing again, probably a 7. You know, and that's one thing that I really love to see with these chip brands is I love when they have consistency, because there are some brands where you get them and there's not always that consistency. Right. So I think this is something that Jackson did really well on. They captured that consistency with the size of the chips and the crunch and everything. So.
All right, so Brandon, your favorite category, back to the dipability here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's no guess as to where that is, right? I mean, I think that definitely still holds up to the dip really well.
Easy.
I'm still gonna give that a 9 for sure. And so again, you know, if all the chips are the same size, same quality, I think that dip score is gonna be pretty consistent. So at the end of the video, we will probably say it does hold up to the dip.
Yeah. For me, I'm gonna say right there consistent. I'm gonna say that's an 8. Like it holds up really, really well for the size of the chip. Really impressed with that. So.
I like it. Yep.
All right, so a couple more to go, right?
2 more flavors.
All right, see what we have next.
All right, Kevin. So what is this flavor we have here?
So this is actually Jackson's newest one they just released, spicy jalapeno. So I'm pretty excited about this. I do like jalapeno. I don't like super hot stuff, but I do like a little spice. So.
I would agree. Yeah, I like a little bit of spice in my life, but not super hot.
Let's see, Brandon, if this goes any easier than the last bag.
All right.
Man, oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't know what it was with that last one, but
was a
yeah,
tough one.
that was a really easy open. I like that. So yeah. Ooh,
Spicy jalapeno?
You
Is
can
it-
smell the jalapeno, but you can still smell the sweet potato too, which is kind of unique.
For sure.
I like
All
that.
right, let's give it a dump here.
Still decently good sized
Yeah,
chips.
absolutely.
Like that.
Jackson spicy jalapeno. All right. Go ahead, Brandon. Go ahead.
Let's give it a whirl.
I'm gonna get the. Oh, look at this one.
Oh yeah.
Look at that, guys.
Look at that. Get a close up.
Look at that thing.
All right, let's try it. Ready?
All right, ready? Initially, nothing really.
It's the aftertaste again.
Now, yeah. I think. Wow. It's not hot at all. It's not like super spicy at all. But now, like my tongue is tingling a little bit now. It's got.
Well, have another one.
Yeah,
You'll
have
get
another
there.
one.
Yeah, you'll get there. Yeah. So initially, like you said, I think when we first tried it, not really tasting a whole lot of flavor or really the spiciness.
Yeah.
But I think the more that you eat after a while, that's when you really
Yeah.
start to taste the flavor and the aftertaste, like you said, right? So. Let's try it in the dip.
Try it with the dip, Brandon.
All
Tell me
right.
what you think here.
Let's try it. Definitely holds up super well.
held up, no problem. They've
Great.
all these chips have held up really nice. Now, even though, like I've said this 100 times probably, but even though they are thinner, it does hold up really nice.
I do really like that in the dip.
I do too.
And the reason why is because I think since it has that little bit of spiciness in it, the dip kind of counteracts it a little bit. So
Yeah.
it's like you get that little bit of spiciness, but the dip almost kind of cools it, which is a nice, really
that's what I was
subtle
thinking.
flavor.
Yeah, kind of just a little bit of coolness down in that. So
I like that. So for me, again, as a standalone, probably would not eat this as a standalone, but I do really like it with the dip. I think it pairs really well together because it kind of gives it that that very medium balance of things. So
all right, Brandon. Spicy jalapeno Jackson's chips. Flavor. What do you think?
yeah, for the flavor, I would say that this is at least a 7 for me. Mainly just because, like I said, when you open it up, you don't really get anything right away. It's more
Right.
just the aftertaste, and you're basing it off with the dip. So I would say it was a little bit above average for me, but not the best flavor that we've had so far. Because I think we're probably both in agreement we're still in the range. So
Yeah. For me, I'm gonna just what he said. Just kind of reiterate what he said. Initial flavor, it's not a wallop, but it's that once it's sat on your tongue, you've had a couple bites. Now my mouth has a nice, good flavor to it. It's not overwhelmingly hot. It's just got a nice amount of heat to it. This, I think, heat-wise, I think this is perfect.
how does it hold up on the Scoville levels?
Oh, I don't know the Scoville level, but yeah, I'm not, not gonna be crying after this. But
That's
yeah,
true.
if you don't like super hot stuff,
This might be the one
this
for
is
you.
going to be a perfect chip for you because you can feel it in your mouth a little bit, but it's not to the point where you can't breathe or anything like that. So
I agree.
so I'm excited about this. So I'm going to say for me, I'm going to say this is a 7 as well too.
Okay.
So I do like the flavor on this as well.
Yeah.
And then crunchability, again, I'm just going to go right back to where I've been. I think these are 7s. This is great crunch on this.
Yeah.
Even for as thin as they are, I do like the crunch of 7.
I think we're both in agreement with that. I would still rate that a 7. I think it's just been pretty consistent. So I'll rate that a 7 again.
And then Brandon, dipability, man, your favorite category on everything we do here.
It is holding up to the dip.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed. So I like that. I'm still going to give that a 9. I think it's really great.
I think it holds up to the dip, and it tastes really good with the dip. I think
Yes.
this tastes really good. So I think the last ones I did 8s. I'm going to do a 9 on this because I really like the pairing of the dip with it.
Wow. Okay. All right.
All right, Brandon, we got one more left.
All right. Now this one, I don't know how it's going to be because
I don't know, folks.
It might be a little bit spicier than what we have here, but I
we
guess we're
saved
going to
this-
find out.
Yeah, we saved this one for last because I'm a little terrified of this one a little bit, but we'll find out and let's see what this one does.
All right, Kevin, we're on to the last flavor here
Yes.
of our Jackson's review.
Yes.
What do we got?
Habanero Nacho.
Ooh.
Habanero's got me sweating already. So
You think so? You think it's going to be hotter than the jalapeno?
I mean, it's habanero. I'm guessing it's going to be a little warmer than the jalapeno, but
Okay.
I am excited to try it because I've never had habanero nacho before. So let's give this a whirl, man.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Here we go again. So 2 out of the 5 bags.
Come on, Brandon, you got it. You got it.
I didn't work out yet, so
No, is that it?
I got to start working on that wrist strength. Ooh. Okay. I'm going to give this one more shot. I'm going to let you open that. We're on another bag that I cannot get open. Okay, so see, he really had
that
to
was
pull
a
it
little
down.
bit harder. Yeah.
Okay, so give me some credit.
Yeah.
What do we got?
Nacho.
Yeah, I don't really
Nachos
smell
for
the habanero. I smell the nacho for sure.
Nacho for sure.
Yeah, this nacho chips.
It's nacho chips.
They're Jackson's.
They're Jackson's. All right. Oh man, I'm gonna need some water before I eat this one.
Woo!
It's not. Yeah, it's not. It doesn't smell like super.
No, it doesn't smell.
I just smell nacho.
Taste
right away.
is another thing.
Yeah. All right, Brandon.
All right, let's find a decent sized one.
Wish me luck here.
All right.
Ready?
Cheers.
Oh boy. Okay. Wow.
I don't really taste too much spiciness.
Yeah, no, me either.
I'm getting more of it from that aftertaste. But I think it's going to be one of those ones where when you eat it,
here it comes.
a couple more,
Yeah.
When you eat a couple more, I think that's when it's going to get hotter.
I taste a lot of nacho on this. Definitely a little bit more heat now, but not overwhelming. Maybe I was psyching myself up too much.
I definitely think you were. Let me see how it holds up to the dip here. Oh yeah, nice solid dip.
Yeah, looks good. No problem. Yeah, holds up. How's it pair with it?
Yeah. So I think it kind of holds true to how the spicy jalapeno was. I think it's one of those ones where, like, again, you get a little bit of the spiciness with it, but I like both flavors, again, with that dip because it just kind of really cools it down a little bit, too. For somebody like me who doesn't really like a ton of spicy stuff, which is nice.
You know what? I was just thinking, if you wanted to have, like, if you're having, like, a turkey sandwich or something, like, you know, put chips in the sandwich, this might give it a little kick to your
Would you put it in the sandwich or on the side?
I would put it in the sandwich. I mean, that's what you do, right?
Well, I wasn't aware of that.
Wow. But yeah, I think that would give it a nice little kick.
I always eat them on the side.
Yeah, no, I mean, you do, but if you're looking to change it up a little bit. But yeah, I think that would be a nice little kick inside of a turkey sandwich or having a lunch sandwich or whatever. All right, Brandon, so we've ate them, we've dipped them. Tell me about what do you think flavor-wise?
Yeah, flavor. Woo. Okay, so now I'm really tasting that spiciness, especially after eating multiple chips here. But yeah, I mean, I think for the flavor, it's kind of going to be around where the jalapeno was. I think that it's actually a little bit better than the jalapeno.
Okay.
Mainly because I like the nacho taste with it too. I think that's
really
what's making it for me. So I'd probably give that an 8 for sure.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
For me, I'm going to say this is a 7, I think, on that. I do really like the nacho flavor.
Yeah.
I was really worried about the habanero just rocking my socks, and I didn't want that. So
we didn't want his socks to get rocked. We don't need a sweaty Kevin.
Yeah, so there is a little bit more heat than the jalapeno for sure, but it's not overwhelming. So if you are one of those people who don't like super spicy, this is not that spicy. Because I'm one of those people who don't like in fuego, you know, the on fire ones. Like I would never eat one of those. But
yeah, and ironically enough, I honestly was like, when I saw these flavors, I did not think the spicy ones were going to be up there in my top flavors. Because again, you know, I think we're kind of on the same page. We're not really super into spices. But I would actually say that's probably pretty up there with the ranch for me. Like, I think they're both actually really good.
Wow,
yeah,
okay.
I like that. So.
Wow. All right, so crunchability, again, just consistency. I'm going to say this is a 7. It's great crunch on the chip. Really like it. Really good for me.
Yeah. I'm going to be probably at a 7 as well. So I know the sea salt one, I think, was the only one that was kind of like, it was slightly under 7. So that's why I rated it a 6, obviously. But I would say all across the board, it's between that 6 and 7 for crunchability. So still holds true, still holds consistent, which is awesome. And then, for the dip, I mean, I can definitely verify and say the chip guys have approved. It does hold up to the dip.
Absolutely.
So great job, Jackson's.
Great job.
I do like that. So that's going to be another 9 again for me. Tastes really well with it, pairs well. So yeah, I have no complaints.
I agree. I think this is one of those that pairs really well with the dip, actually. It's got great nacho flavor by itself.
Yep.
Just a little bit of heat, but the dip really makes it even better. So I think the dip ability on this for me, I'm going to say is a 8 for me on this. So
okay,
pretty consistent with all of them.
Yeah, and the one thing I really like about all these chips too is that I think it's different from your traditional style potato chip, obviously, with the way they're processed and the way they're made. Yep. And it's not one of those where you can eat a lot of them and they're not super greasy too, which I really like. So, because I know some potato chips, you eat a couple and they're like, your hands are really greasy. Right. You're sweating a little bit. So, you know, I think it's one of those where it's a nice clean chip, and I really like the process and how they make and create these chips. So.
All right, Brandon, so we reviewed 5 different flavors. This is our biggest review.
It's hard to believe. Normally we only ever do 1 to 3. So,
usually do 3, but 5 today. So kind of recap all this here and kind of see where we.
Let's total up the scores, see where we're at, and I think I have a feeling I know where we're probably at, but we're gonna check it out and then we'll go from there. All right, Kevin. So now that we have the scores totaled up, I think we kind of know which ones are going to be our favorite flavors, but just to build some suspense, let's actually go backwards and we'll start at the bottom and kind of talk about our least favorite flavors, or the ratings for those, and then we'll go up to the number one position. So I'll start with mine. So for me, based on our score here, which is surprising because I really like barbecue, but Carolina barbecue actually was in last place for me. I got a 21 out of 30 for that. And then that would be my fourth place. Going up into third, we have 22 out of 30 for the sea salt. And then second place, we have spicy jalapeno at 23 out of 30. And then tied for first place, I actually have the habanero nacho and the ranch. So those both came in at 24 out of 30. So I kind of figured it was going to be between those two. I actually thought ranch was going to score a little bit higher, but it makes sense. And like I said, I'm actually really surprised at that because normally I like barbecue.
You're a big barbecue fan.
Yeah, that habanero nacho just really did it for me, and that ranch was great too. So now that we kind of know where I'm at, let's talk about your score.
Yeah, so for me, we're going to be really similar here. So I think a lot of our scores are pretty much right on the same. For me, my last place was the Carolina barbecue. I did like it, but in this instance of all these, it was it was number 5 on my list. The one after that for me, what do I have here? Is we've got habanero nacho.
Okay.
For me was my least favorite.
Really?
And then followed by sea salt, 22 out of 30. The spicy jalapeno coming in at number 2 came out of 23 out of 30. And my Farmhouse Ranch for me was by far the best one, which was a 24 out of 30.
Yep.
On that. Love that one. So
which is funny because we don't really care for spice, I would say, between the both of us, and they like both tied for first. Either the spicy jalapeno or the habanero nacho, which I thought was ironic. But yeah, I mean, so what I would say in Chip Guy's tradition here, since we have a tie for first place, I would say at this point we would just say maybe what our favorite flavor is. I think we already both know, but I think the flavor for today, I'll say it.
Say it, Brandon.
I think it's going to be the ranch for sure.
Yep.
You're in agreement with that?
Farmhouse Ranch is the bag of the day. A great flavor, Jackson's. This is just an awesome flavor. Love it. Love it.
But that habanero though, it's very, very close for me. So like I said, obviously why I tied for first, but I think just since they tied and me just picking personally, we're going to go with the ranch today. That's going to be our official best bag out of these 5. So thank you to our friends over at Jackson's for sending us all this awesome swag. If you want to learn more how to win all the swag, make sure you follow us on Instagram at The Chip Guys and check our latest posts with the descriptions on how to enter.
If you're interested in trying Jackson's chips, check out their website in the description below and use the code CHIPGUYS15 for an exclusive 15% off of your total purchase, which is good through December 31st, 2023.
And be sure to leave your comment below to let us know your favorite flavor from Jackson's.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Brandon.
And we're The Chip Guys.